It is an extremely warm day today. We are talking hitting 40 degrees. I mean, it's about 7 o'clock right now and it's still about 35 degrees Celsius. So yeah, very, very warm day, but very grateful for sunshine, for blue skies, and for these views. And I'm just taking you down the bottom of our garden right now because we have some goats down there, and Shadow was just saying hello with his waggy tail to the goats, so I thought I would come down and see if they are still here. And this is the beauty of where we are staying right now, because we are so close to the city, to Novi Sad, but we also are in nature. Like, beautiful. It's so peaceful, it's so quiet, yet if we want to be in the city and the hustle bustle of everything, we're there within 5 to 10 minutes. So right here is our nutty dog, and here are the goats. See if I can get a good shot of them. Hey! And every day around this time they just come out here and they roam on the grass. They're usually pretty noisy. Yeah. See that there's some the babies there. And they're very hot, panting away, you can see. But it's just so beautiful to just be here, right at the end of our garden, and have these beautiful, beautiful animals. Haven't actually tried, don't know if they're doing particular goat milk. When we got here, our Airbnb host said there's a lady who walks her goats every evening and we'd be able to get some goat's milk. I actually have raw cow's milk from the cow just across the road, and I'm really happy with that. But I haven't actually tried the goat's milk yet. We've got just over a month left here, just over 4 weeks. So, actually 4 weeks today I think it is, or 5 weeks today, one of the two. But anyway, these are the goats, and this is what happens of an evening where we are staying. So yeah, super peaceful. Just to come outside, ground, not only get the sunshine, but just take a minute, because I know you're talking to me now, I'm walking away. Hey! Yeah, life can be busy, life can be hectic, and it's so easy for one day to roll into the next, and you can sometimes get caught up in the doing rather than the being. And I think that's one thing that dogs or animals in general teach you, is they are just there, they're present. They don't care what happened an hour ago, they don't care what's happening tomorrow. All they care about is what's in front of them right now. And you see it in Shadow. If someone was to walk in right now, he would be so excited. He wouldn't care what he was just doing, chasing the geckos or anything else. Somebody new's here, it's exciting. So really teaches you the art of presence and living a life, I particularly find, of working online and carrying your work with you everywhere you go is amazing to have that freedom. But it can also really get you caught up. Oh, you made me jump! And there's Charlie.
Hey, lady!
You made me jump.
Watch it, lady!
I didn't expect you to come through.
Sunset? Well, fucking hell, I feel like a vampire. I ain't been outside.
Come and get some sun.
Well, I'm actually on a call, but
Oh,
someone's watching the prequel video, so...
okay. Oh, it made me jump. Lost what my trail of thought now. What I was saying was how good it is that you can take your work around with you, but it is also so easy to get caught in that work all the time. So one of the things that we have been implementing recently is putting on like a movie of an evening, and Charlie's like, right, let's get off our devices now, and I'll close up, say goodnight to everyone, close up everything I've got to do, put my phone on flight mode, turn it off and shut it away. And it's been really nice because, especially working usually with teams who are on American time zones, that is later for us. It's much later in the day. It means we have the first half of our day to do what we want to do, and then the second half of our day is more work, client focused, and that is great. I love that because I can get up and just go to the gym. I think if I was on living in an Eastern time zone, I'd find it so difficult to be waking up and going straight into quote unquote work. So it's really nice to get up in the morning and have some sun and spend time with Shadow and do the gym and do any shopping and things like that before my quote work day starts. But yeah, that can mean that it does go on much later into the day, and that's something that can really mess with your circadian rhythm. We have blue light blockers and things like that, and I try to make sure, especially now we're here, you can see where the sun is there, it will set just over there in a few hours. So I always try and make sure we've got a great balcony up there, so if it gets too shaded in the garden, then I will go up onto the balcony and do some sun gazing, get that sun in my eyes. At the moment it tends to be about 8:30 in the evening that we lose the sun here, and it's a really good way to set your circadian rhythm and tell your body that it's time to start slowing down, it's time to start shutting off. The sun's setting, so the body should shut down, and at least shut down for relaxation. And then once you go inside after that, you shouldn't be around computer screens and phones and TVs and like LED lighting and the bright lights in the home and things like that. It should all be like salt lamps and dark lights, and really allowing your body to reset that circadian rhythm. We do have blue light blockers. There are different like levels you can get, and we've got some red ones, and we paid quite a lot of money for them. We invested quite a bit because we wanted to make sure we were having a good pair. So we got a pair that were very highly rated, and we were actually in Montenegro at the time, and we ordered them. They came from Ireland, and they took such a long time to get through customs and things like that, but we got them in the end. But I do find it really difficult to wear them and be on the computer, because a lot of the stuff that I do on the computer will be like video editing or things that I want to see the colour, whereas when you have the glasses on, everything is just dark and red. But that's something that's super important for helping with circadian rhythm. So yeah, what we're doing it's only been probably the last week or so we've really been implementing it, is making sure by sort of like 9 o'clock or so we're like shutting off our devices, turning that off, because it's also like distractions. Like if you're on social media, if I've recently gone onto TikTok and I've had some videos go pretty viral, and I never used TikTok before, but a friend of mine recommended that I go on there and I really start sharing my story, and it's working. I'm getting a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of feedback, but it can sort of suck you into that vortex of social media, and before you know it, you can get carried away responding. Like I had a video that's got thousands and thousands of comments, and if you want to even try and start to respond to them, it's really taking you into that vortex. It's taking you away from the present moment and taking you into this social media realm. So having that structure of like shutting off and winding down, whether it is just putting a film on in the background and then spending time connecting or whatever that looks like, it's really helping to wind down, I guess. So that is my little update in this heat. I am now going indoors and going to do some broth. We make some broth from chicken bones that we have when we cook whole chicken or chicken wings, I will continue the video showing you that. Okay, so broth. This is our broth, and we've had it on really low. Not sure if you can see that. Back in the UK we had some like big slow cookers, but we don't have that here. We've got a pressure cooker from the UK. We carry it around with us, but it's not the biggest, so it's probably a bit smaller than this. So I tend to just use the hob, and I chuck in bones. We always have our chickens like organic, free range, try to get the best quality we can. Definitely one of the struggles with traveling is it does take that time to really find the best quality meat, and that's really important for us. So I chuck that in, usually depending on how much we're cooking. If we're not ready to do the bones yet, I'll chuck them all in a pot and put it in the freezer, just like maybe a glass container or something like that. Chuck it in the freezer until we're ready to do it. Alongside loads of the ends of veggies, so carrots, onions, spring onions, celery, anything that we use that we don't use the ends of, chuck that all in there as well. We then fill it up with our Kangen water, so I use 9.5 pH Kangen water, and then pop some apple cider vinegar in there as well. And it's been sitting here now for 48 hours. If you could smell this right now, it smells incredible. Honestly, absolutely amazing. Like, oh, I'm so excited. So that is the broth. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to drain it. You want to keep it really low. You don't want it to boil, you just want it to simmer so it can really soak out all of those nutrients from the bones and the veggies. I am going to strain it now so we can take apart the liquid and all the bones, and then I will show you what I do from there. Okay, so this clothing is mine. It's 40 degrees outside. I'm so hot clothing. So this is what I do. Again, another thing with traveling is we don't always have all the equipment that we want, and especially in the UK, because we did meal prepping, we would have huge stainless steel pots and pans. And so whilst we're here, we just have to make do with what we have. So usually if I was in the UK, I would be able to tip this, strain it, pour it straight into a big one, done. Quite often what I have to do here is pour it into two smaller ones and then put that into the bigger one. Takes a little bit longer, but again, when you're traveling, you just learn to make do with what you've got. You learn to adapt and adjust, and it's so worth it for this bone broth. So let's get this in here. Yeah, it's heavy. It's definitely heavy. Try not to spill it. Okay, that one's full. Spilled a little bit there. Don't want to lose any of this gold dust now. Honestly, that's what it feels like. Like, it smells amazing and it is so nutritious that it literally feels like you're throwing away like gold dust if you lose any of it. Okay, so there's that. I can probably actually put a little bit more in this one. Okay, there's that one. And then make sure the hob's off, that's very important. Okay, now I'm going to pour it into the other one. Now this is always a little bit of a task because the sieve is bigger than the pot. But again, we just make do with what we've got and we just work it the best way that we can. The life of a digital nomad. Honestly, you do like we're looking at all of our options right now of what does it look like moving forward, because we've been doing this for over a year now, traveling around, moving every 4 to 12 weeks really, depending on, you know, in the beginning we were moving more frequently. Now we tend to settle down for a little bit longer, which has its pros and cons to both sides. But we're really starting to think of like longer term, what does that look like starting a family. For me, it's always been a goal to have a homestead. So I want my own animals. I want my own chickens. I want my own goats and cows, horses. I want to have a lot of land so I can grow all my own food. That's super, super important to me. So yeah, we know that the UK isn't going to be the place for that. And right now it's just trying to figure out and decide what country is that? What country offers us, of course, the ability to be able to get a visa there so we can stay longer term, but also offers us the ability to buy good land and either a property that's maybe a little bit more run down and needs some work, or one that is already done. Desperately want like our own gym. Obviously sauna, we used to have a sauna back in the UK. Best investment ever. Like, I think we spent about £1,000 on it. We got a really, really good deal for a really good infrared sauna. And it was actually an ex-display one, which was why it was such a good deal. And we went for infrared because infrared penetrates like deeper into the cells. So when you've got the really hot like Finnish saunas, they're great, but they're really good for sweating and like getting the detoxing going. But especially people maybe if they've got like chronic health conditions or anything like that, and they really want to support the immune system and the cells and get like deeper, infrared saunas are so much better. They're not as hot, but they penetrate deeper into the skin and the body. And yeah, we ordered an X display, and because we were like, it's fine, we can have an X display one. At the time we just had a ground floor apartment, so an X display sauna was absolutely fine for us, 2-person. And they contacted us and they were like, really sorry, we've made a mistake, we haven't got any. And we were like, oh, that means we're going to have to pay full amount for a full one. And they were like, no, we're still going to send you it for the same price, but it will just be a brand new one. And we were like, okay. So we got a really, really good deal with that, really good company. And yeah, we had that we got it in December 2021. And then we got rid of it just before we left, so in 2024. So yeah, we had that for nearly 3 years. And yeah, we decided to sell it because it's such a great tool, piece of equipment for someone to have in their home. And if we weren't going to be there and we didn't know what was happening with our property, so we decided to get rid of it. But that's something that's such a priority. Right now we go to a great gym, it's got a sauna, and it's amazing. But when we were in Montenegro, we had the property we were staying on had their own gym and had its own sauna, and just that convenience of literally walking out the house and within 2 minutes you're in a gym. You've got it to yourself, like you can have the music as loud as you want, you don't have to wear headphones. It's amazing. Obviously it comes with some pros and cons, like there wasn't as much equipment there and things like that, but of course if we're doing our own gym we'll be able to choose the equipment that we have. So that's really like the longer term goal and vision for us, is to have that space. What country that's in right now, who knows? We're not set on a specific country. We've got a few in mind that we really like, and right now it's just weighing up, you know, everything when it comes to weather, when it comes to community, whether it comes to like the cost of living and buying the property and the land, what the visas look like, what the tax situation looks like, how the country responded in 2020 with everything that was going on. So there's a lot of things to weigh up, but it's coming. I can really feel it coming. I can feel that we always had a goal of 2025 was going to be our year for like traveling and like exploring a few different countries and deciding where we want to be based. And even though we haven't decided where we want to be based yet, we're definitely on the path of choosing that and putting in time and energy into like watching YouTube videos, seeing other people's journeys, and getting that inspiration, because when you can relate to other people who have done that, that's why I'm so passionate about sharing our journey, like really raw and honestly, and just you just seeing life, seeing, you know, it's not staged, it's not planned, it's just put the camera on, show up and just talk and share and show what we're doing honestly, because I want to inspire as many people as I can to take the leap and do something that they feel scared to do, because this was such a big thing for me, of stepping out of my comfort zone and my security of having a property in the UK. And when we left the UK, we literally had an Airbnb booked in Germany for 4 nights. That was it. It was our baby's, the anniversary of our baby girl's birthing day. And we just wanted somewhere to like stop, like recuperate, get clear on what we want to do. And it was like, we're leaving the UK with no plans. Like, it was really, really scary, but it's amazing. And just to be in this situation now, where of course navigating like rubbish with Schengen rules and being able to stay for a certain amount of days and things like that. Outside of that, we do have the freedom, having our car. Like, I know a lot of people recently who are traveling by plane, and there is a lot of problems, there's a lot of delays. And for me, having that reliability on someone flying the plane, on the plane not being delayed, on them not losing your luggage, on and this is no disrespect to people, but having to be in a busy airport with people, having to do something at a certain time because you're told, only being able to take certain like drink or food or supplements or whatever that might be, and then also not being able to fly fully with shadow. So for us, having the car, of course, shadow is a huge deciding factor in that. If we didn't have shadow, would we be in Europe? Most likely not. Most likely we would have got on a plane and gone further afield, because the world is huge, there's so much to see and explore. But we do have shadow, and I can hear his footsteps. He's waiting for his dinner right now. It's 6:30. I usually feed him about 6, so he's just staring at me right now like, what are you doing? I'll do your dinner in a minute. Good boy. So yeah, having that freedom of like being in the car when we're on these open roads and we're just driving, and especially a lot of the roads in Europe, like when you're driving in the country, like in the towns and stuff, it can be quite small roads and things like that, but between the countries you have so much nature and you have these big roads, and it just feels so liberating and so free to know, like, I can drive through 10 countries in one day if I want to, especially in Europe, because some of them are like within an hour of each other. And having that freedom of not, like, if we want to get up and go, right, we're done here, let's book an Airbnb and let's go somewhere else, we can just go. We don't have to worry about booking a flight ticket and checking this and checking that. It's like, we just go, we get in our car and we go. And I love that freedom. I love it so much. I didn't know how much I would, and sometimes when we're doing the really long journeys, it's really difficult, it's really challenging, because I get so tired, and when I don't have sleep, I can be very miserable. And also eating as well, like we have cool bags and like ice packs, so we go as prepped as we can go, but when you're on like an 18-hour drive, there's only so much that you can take. So when you stop at all the service station, literally, even in Europe, it's like McDonald's, it's Burger King, it's Starbucks, it's all the same things, and we don't eat that food really. I think on our whole travels, whilst we've been traveling, there was one time we stopped and had a McDonald's and we literally got a burger, because we had like run out of food. There had been a lot of like delays and stuff like that. If we do stop off, like we stopped off in Hungary once, we found a really nice restaurant and we spent a few hours exploring the country rather than just stopping at a service station. But that's not always an option, so you just have to take it as you can. But yeah, the freedom is really important to me, of being able to have the car and just go, especially when it's hot and we've got great aircon, and you can just have whatever you want in your car. You can listen to whatever music you want, you can stop whenever you want, you can sleep whenever you want. If you want to pull over and just nap, you can. if shadow needs to stop, we can stop whenever. It brings a real sense of like liberation, and that's really important for me. So yeah, I'm feeling a season right now of lots of changes and transitions. We are going to start heading a bit more up Europe and exploring a few little countries up that way. We've got some things to sort out with the car, so we're going to head that way a little bit and just really keep deciding and honing in on where we want to be longer term. I definitely feel it's going to be in this region where we are, so Southeast Europe. Southeast, I'd say we are. There's a lot of countries around here we still haven't explored, so I think it's really hard to say like, oh yeah, we want to settle down in this country, because there's so many we haven't seen. So yeah, I'm definitely in two minds of like, right, I'm ready to just choose a country now, apply for a visa and like get going, or no, I want to keep traveling around, and I tend to change my mind quite often. So yeah, it's a lot of decisions, it's exciting though. It can become a bit overwhelming. A few days ago I felt a little bit overwhelmed with it and a bit like, what am I meant to be doing right now? Like, it was just felt a lot. But I am also a woman, and my hormones and things like that, so I always take that into account. And usually once I speak to Charlie and express to him how I'm feeling, he really puts things into perspective, and that's like super important for me. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, and I'm gonna continue doing this broth. Okay, so I cleared up the absolute mess that I made, got all of the broth into one pot, and I've now turned it up, it's all flashing, but to 8, which is the highest. I want to get it boiling like this. Now what I'll do is I'll turn it back down so it starts to simmer, and I'm literally going to take off all this top layer. I have some water here, and I literally will just scoop out all of this top layer and pop it into there. So the goal for this is I'm just making the broth as like clean and smooth as possible. So yeah, it's just taking off this top layer. A lot of it sometimes can be like fat, sometimes, and just excess parts of where you've drained the bones and things. So yeah, getting that all off onto here just allows for the cleanest source of broth that you can get. So it usually takes a minute or so for me to just make sure all this is off, and then once this is off, I then put in some spices. So I've got my little bowl of spices here, and today we have got ginger, black pepper, turmeric, garlic, onion, some like chicken seasoning, cayenne pepper, paprika, and I think that's about it. So I tend to always do it differently, like see what spices we've got. I tend to use like all the dry spices, and like obviously you can get like some good fresh herbs. I haven't found too many here. It's not the easiest again to find, but I use them, put them all in, and then what I tend to do is just let the broth simmer for maybe 10 minutes or so with all of the spices in it. And then once all the spices have seasoned, let's say, that's the reason why you're putting it in, to season the broth, I will then turn the broth off, let it cool down, and then I strain it. So we have I think it's called a cafetiere. Quite often people use it for coffee. We have that, and that's really helpful because it's stainless steel, so it's really easy for us to carry around on the road. I'll pour that in and then strain anything out, only of the seasonings and things like that, so that it's like smooth, there's no lumps and stuff like that in it. And then the broth is pretty good to go. Sometimes if we've done a lot, I might put it into some ice cube trays and put it in the freezer. And then whenever we cook, we just use a few ice cubes in our food. More recently, because we do get through it quite quickly, love to use the broth as a base and just chuck in whatever meats. We usually either have ribeye steak or chicken, chuck that in, a load of veggies, and it's just so easy. It's quick, it's easy, it's nutritious, it's filling, especially when it's like hot. Probably sounds crazy like having broth when it's hot, but it's just something that's so easy, and you know that you're filling your body with nutrients. So that is what we'll do, and I've just been keeping it. I usually just put it, if I haven't made that much, like when we were in the UK, we would always have so much of it in the freezer, and quite often we would drink it. So we'd wake up in the morning and it would be something that we would like break fast with. Usually around midday, we'd have a few cubes with some like boiling water, and it's so tasty. It's so good. You can also make a really good dish like, for those people in the UK, I guess, like Wagamamas, using that as a broth. You can use like rice noodles. We have rice noodles because we tend to stay away from gluten. So yeah, we tend to just go with rice noodles. Again, veggies, you can stir fry them. There's so much you can do with it. So broth is great. We have tried beef. I don't love the beef broth. I definitely prefer the chicken. Last time we made broth here, we did chuck in some beef bones and it was really good. And obviously you're getting different vitamins and minerals from the bones from different animals. So yeah, that's really good. But I would say this is pretty much done now. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this, pop my spices in, and let it simmer. Okay, so spices are going in now, and we'll give them a good mix. And you can see it really changes like the colour. I think I might have put a tiny bit too much turmeric in it. I mean, it still smells amazing, but you can definitely smell the medicine of the turmeric in there. I will give you a little look. Nutrients, that is. So nutrient dense, full of so much collagen. Great, really, really great for the body. So I'm now just going to let that simmer. Probably leave it for around 10 minutes or so. Let the broth really soak up all of the seasonings, and then once that has sat for a little while, I will then strain it and pop it into my glass bottles and pop it into the fridge and actually make some dinner, because we're going to have this for dinner tonight. No matter how many times I see a sunset, I'm constantly mesmerized, constantly just in awe of the beauty of Mother Nature. I mean, look at it. Look at that sun. Don't know how clear it's going to come through on this camera, zoomed in a little bit. I look at the sun and I'm just blown away. It's like such a reminder every single day that the sun is going to rise and the sun is going to set. And we just continue showing up, doing our thing. It brings me so much peace just to come out here. It is so orange right now, soaking in all the red light as the sun is setting. Just hearing the dogs barking. I think I can hear people cutting the grass. So many sounds in the distance throughout all of this beautiful land that you can see. And there goes the sun, setting again. Another day. Another day passed in this existence. Another day to be grateful, to be alive, to be well, to be breathing. To just be here to experience it. So much to be grateful for. A dog that has found a little bit of bark, and he will just get the zoomies and and love himself around the garden because he's found a little bit of bark. Honestly, just the joy of the presence of watching an animal. Reminds you to stay grounded, stay present. Do you think he's happy? I think he's happy. Time to go finish dinner, I guess. Time to go fuel our bodies with some nutritious broth. Appreciate anyone watching this. Love to hear from you. Do you sun gaze? Are you as mesmerised as I am by sunsets? Are you as mesmerised as I am by dogs? It doesn't take a lot to please me. The simple things in life bring joy and gratitude. See them because they're all around you, usually right in front of you in the places that you're not looking. Like a dog just having zoomies around the garden, being so happy with his life because he's found a little bit of bark on the floor. So happy.